All right, cube 5 is again based on cube 4, so the previous model. It's going to be helpful to have this, although you don't have to have it. What I'm going to do again is select my cube 4, copy it over. Keep in mind that all of these boards should be individual groups, otherwise this will be a little bit harder. But essentially now we need to shift all 3 dimensions. So in cube 3 we shifted 1, which was going to be the white. Cube 4 we shifted 2, which were going to be the white and the blue. And now in cube 5 we need to now shift this yellow one, which is still the only one which is a perfect square. So to do that, I'm actually going to have to cut it in some way. Now technically I'm not going to cut it, but what I am going to do is I'm going to use push-pull. So I'm going to double click on it, use push-pull on the end. This will allow me to push it, but I don't want to just push it to some random spot. I want to push it to where it hits another wall. And ideally we'll click on this wall. I'll hit spacebar and click out to stop editing the group. Now this yellow board though has to start from one side of the cube and make it all the way to the other. But it's going to shift either forwards or backwards. In this case, it's going to be easiest to shift it in this direction. So what I'm going to do is essentially just copy it over. I don't care too much with exactly where it's at in here. Just make sure it doesn't go all the way to the end. But somewhere in here, that feels pretty good. And then I'll click off. So the issue that I'm having now, again, is this clipping. And first of all, this is too long, so let's go ahead and push-pull that back in to where it's the correct length. I'll then edit this whiteboard and push it to where it's on the side of the vertical wall, and that's going to ensure there's no clipping. The problem is this last board. So here, if I simply double-click on it and use push-pull, it sort of appears to look correct in that I have an L shape, but if I orbit to the other side, that piece is now poking through. So how do we fix this? Well, I'm going to undo that change. And in order to pull out just a section, remember that we can just draw a vertical line here, and I've split that surface now into 2 parts. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to try and get it right here where that board hits the wall. So you should find a little X right there that says intersection. I'll go straight up then. Now I can simply pull that one portion of the surface out to meet my wall. Click out. And now we've shifted all 3 dimensions. So there is cube 5. Cube 5 is going to be really important moving forward because it's going to be utilized as a base for cube 8, 9, and 10.